Hello, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel. I help women over 50 navigate growing older with nutritional and lifestyle strategies that can help them manage pain and inflammation primarily. Now, I have a confession to make. I certainly am not the picture of health. I have been dealing with some inflammation in my life off and on, and recently I had a health setback, and I'm kind of digging myself out of that, just through nutrition and other strategies I've put into place. And my journey here is just to help others. I find that I help myself by helping others. So I hope that some of the information here resonates with you. Certainly am not professional at making videos, so thank you for bearing with me. Let's talk about a little bit why pain after 50, or why we are in pain after the age of 50, I'm sure we all have had those people who've told us when we were young, don't ever grow old, right? Now I know how they feel and what they meant by that. I'm sure we all do. But one of the biggest reasons why we have pain is inflammation, as I've mentioned before. And as we age, we also lose muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia, and you've probably heard of it before. And it kind of goes along with that old adage of, if you don't use it, you are going to lose it. And unfortunately, that is an unfortunate truth that we must deal with as we get older. Now, that doesn't mean we can't slow down or halt the process. Probably can't halt it, but we can slow it down by exercises and things like that. But other things that influence inflammation is poor sleep, chronic stress. I think we all have chronic stress in today's world. Blood sugar swings, if we are not stabilizing our blood sugar during the day when we eat, and the types of food we're eating. As I've mentioned before, we really need to shoot for higher quality animal-based protein foods and fats, and then some good choice vegetable additions to that are also acceptable if you tolerate those. But as we go along in these videos, I will talk about some of those plant foods that can actually cause you pain and why. Processed food, as we know, I'm not going to dwell on that because we've touched on that a little bit. If you have a sedentary life, which some of us tend to do as we get older, that really influences pain and inflammation. You stiffen up, even if you sit for a little while in the evening after you get home from work, and then when you go to get up again to, like, say, go to bed, how many of us are limping across the floor? Well, it doesn't have to be that way, and it can become a cycle. Also, your nutrition plays a huge role in this. Older people tend not to hydrate enough, drinking enough water. And, you just really need to listen to your body, and everything counts as far as if you're drinking water, eating soup, things like that, maybe herbal tea. Those all count towards hydration. Coffee, not so much. Fruit juices, not so much. And actually, fruit juices, you shouldn't be drinking those anyway. Having your electrolyte balance. Electrolytes would be magnesium, potassium, calcium, and chloride. And a lot of times athletes, they drink electrolyte beverages such as Gatorade, which those aren't good for you, so I'm not saying drink those, but you can get some decent electrolyte powders to just add to your water. If you get a good quality salt like Redmond salt, you can make Soleil water, which is just making salty water and then sipping on it, and it actually helps to control hunger as well. And that's something that is a misconception out there, is we need more salt than what we have been told. And salt has to be, it also depends on the quality of salt. Believe it or not, it does. Quality salt, store-bought salt, iodized salt, not so great. Salt in processed food and any kind of packaged food, that's not good either. Nutrient-dense foods are very important. Making every bite count. There was a health coach colleague that once said, with every bite of food, you're either fighting disease or feeding it. And so that is just something to keep in mind. You want to be fighting disease. And so I mentioned hydration and staying hydrated. That's just something to be conscientious about. And you don't have to kill yourself drinking all this water. Just sip something, something to keep you hydrated throughout the day. But pain is not something we have to accept. We have to really pay attention to what we're doing every day, pay attention to what we are putting in our mouths, pay attention to our fluid intake and our nutrition, but you don't have to take a lot of supplements if you're eating nutrient-dense foods. And I am going to wrap it up there, and just know that I'm sharing my own health journey on these videos, and I am not a doctor and I'm not giving medical advice. These videos are for educational purposes, and I just hope that I help even one person. If you have any questions or you would like more information on anything I've mentioned, please just leave it in the comments. Thank you so much.